What are the hardest ASE tests to take? My name is David Roskoff. I'm an ASE certified master tech with my L1. And in this video, we're going to tell you which were the hardest tests for me and which are the hardest tests in general based on some surveys and what the internet has said. So first off, the hardest test I have ever taken with the ASE platform is the L1. Now the L1 is the advanced test, but I could tell you right away that it took me like 3 times to pass it, and I have about 20 years of experience in the industry, and it was a very hard test to take. As a matter of fact, I have already taken a bunch of ASE tests when I took the L1, so I knew how to take the test, I knew the format, I knew the type of questions, I knew the study guides, but it was still very, very difficult. Now, luckily, I did make a lot of videos throughout that journey. I made a video about when I failed the test, I made a video when I passed the test, and I made a video talking about some of the things I recommend people to study. And a lot of people have done really well and messaged me based on watching those videos. And on our website, we offer like a study sheet, which has been very successful. Now, the L1 is notoriously the hardest, so we can move on from that. Now, as far as the A series goes, which means the automotive series, I would say that one of the hardest tests across the board for everyone is the A6, the electrical test. Now, this test was actually a little easier for me because I had a background in avionics work in the military, so I had a lot of electrical experience with troubleshooting, multimeters, soldering, wiring diagrams, schematics, so I was ahead of the curve. But for a lot of people, that is really like a little daunting because it is quite intricate. If you've never done any electrical troubleshooting, if you've never followed a flow chart, and if you've never looked at a schematic and actually troubleshot from all the way from the beginning to finding your solution, it's very difficult to actually learn that from the ground up. So that one's really hard because a lot of people have to spend a lot of time studying for that test. And again, we are shamelessly plugging in some of the things we've done. And we have a lot of free videos. As a matter of fact, one of our best video series is how to use a multimeter. Literally from the beginning to the end, we have multimeter videos where we actually show you how to pick up a multimeter if you never have and start learning how to use it all the way to actually learning tips that pros like myself used in Afghanistan when we were troubleshooting aircrafts to find those electrical gremlins. So for me, one of the hardest tests is the A2. The A2 is the automatic transmission test for the A series. And that one was really hard because you have to learn the complex operation of an automatic transmission. Then you have to learn how to diagnose and understand certain symptoms. And then you had to put all of that together and essentially learn how the automatic transmission functions as far as its solenoids and, you know, what if one isn't working and the pressures, and it gets really intricate. And if you haven't worked on an automatic transmission, you're starting from the ground and you're really trying to learn a lot, or if you have very limited experience, it's one of those tough test to take. Now, luckily, I buy Delmar books, I buy Motor Age books, I try to go to shops, I try to get some hands-on experience, and I use a lot of YouTube videos. Now, one of the hardest tests out there that everyone agrees is difficult, even for me, was the engine performance test. Because I call that the baby L1. Literally, it's like the introduction of the L1, and that's why it's so hard, because you're learning very complex, intricate engine diagnosis, engine issues. So now you know what is the hardest ASE test out there, and maybe you could plan around that. All right, guys, thank you for watching. You stay safe, and if you have any questions, put in the comments, hit the like button, and check out driverstherapy.com where we have courses, and you could get a hold of me if you have any questions on your ASE path. Thank you for watching.